Welcome to The Undoing, a place to come home to yourself and to your creativity. I am your host, Ellen Newhouse, and today I am so excited to share with you this truly magical being who has helped me enormously. His name is Fernando Marengo Rodriguez, and we have just had a very good laugh about that because, Fernando, how do you really say your name? Please tell us.
Thank you, Ellen. Fernando Marengo Rodriguez.
Thank you. I did my best, guys. I have a little learning to do. So before we get started, I just want to give you a little bit of background about Fernando. He graduated as an electronic engineer in 2005 and received his doctorate of English in 2008. He worked as a scientific researcher, professor at the university, and engineer. In 2015, Fernando started his healing journey, and since 2019, he started working as a healer and coach. So far, he has worked with over 3,000 seekers and healers. His latest contribution is his novel heart rate variability biofeedback system to bring back the nervous system into balance. This helps you to overcome stress, anxiety, and depression with no side effects in just 10 minutes, thanks to ancient technologies validated with modern scientific tools. And I just want to be very transparent from the very top that I have had the privilege to work with Fernando directly and to receive the most amazing healing. And before I get into that, Fernando, I want to know, you started this career very much in your brain, and then all of a sudden you're in 2015 and you go on this healing journey. What was the moment? Was there something significant that took you from a very practical, pragmatic career into becoming a healer?
Thank you, Ellen, for your question, for this valuable time. And thank you, everyone who is watching this video as well. And in order to answer your question, it's not just a moment, it's a way of being. It's a way of life, actually. Because when I was working as a scientific researcher in the university, I was born in Argentina, and then I came here to Florianópolis, to the south of Brazil,
Mm.
in 2012. It's been almost 14 years being here. And I remember I came here after a negotiation via email with a professor here. It was really crazy. Then I can share more details about that.
Mm.
But when I came here, it happened something similar to the situation I was facing already in Argentina. I asked to my colleagues, what are you doing in order to help others with your gift? How are you helping other people with your gift, with your knowledge, with your skills?
Mm.
And the only answer I had is, I just do nothing. I just do the research, and I write white papers, and I submit them to congresses and journals. And I said to myself, is that what life is about?
Yeah.
And is it what everything is about? Just to come here, write papers, who, and I told them, I work beside you and I don't even have a notion of what you are doing there. So who is getting the benefits from that? And I was asking that question to myself. Who am I truly helping with this? Because it's always easy to confront other people, but it takes courage to confront ourselves,
Yeah.
and it takes humility.
Yes. Yeah.
And although at that time my mental ego was already very, very, very strong,
Mm.
uh, I was always looking for a purpose and a mission, what life is about.
Mm.
And I started, when I was a teenager, I started reading books about metaphysics. What is if is there life after death or
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah.
And although I didn't understand much about that, my interest was always there. And I remember when I was a kid, I asked to the priest because I was raised Catholic, and I asked the priest, "How can I? You tell me to connect to my guardian angel. How can I connect with that? How
Mm.
can I get the messages from my guardian angels? How can I connect to Jesus, Mary?
Mm.
Instead of believing, how can I feel that?" And they said different kind of replies, and I was saying to myself, I would like to get to different ways of connecting to the source without depending on any intermediates. With
Yeah.
all the respect to the religions,
Yeah.
religions come from the Latin religare, which means reconnect. How can I reconnect to the
Mm.
source without someone else telling me, "Oh, you have to go through me in order to get to the source"?
Yes.
And because of that, of all these things, I've been searching for a spiritual path since my 20s. So I've been over 2 decades looking for a spiritual path, looking for some way to connect to the source, not
Mm.
for religions, but for some spiritual path, something that teaches me how to connect to my divine self and how to connect to the source without depending on some physical place or without depending on some kind of organization that keeps you dependent on them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
so I was saying to myself, I finally found one path here when I came to Brazil,
Hmm.
and that's who became my spiritual mentor, my teacher, Sujavan Solar. And thanks to him, I started to follow little by little some very tiny instructions. And when follow those instructions, taking an herbal shower, connect to my spirit animals, feel the peace within, and
Mm.
I was feeling like, oh, this is something really good.
Mm.
And I received this from my mother as a birthday gift, which you can see it's an angel, right? It's an
Oh,
angel
yes, that
playing,
place. Yes.
playing the charango, an Andean
Yes.
instrument. This is the one I
Yes.
play,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And I finally, after years of inner work,
Mm.
I became my own angel.
Oh.
And I connected to my own power animals, and I can connect to the source.
Mm.
And most of all, I found ways to show others how they can do that. And you know this very well, how you can
Yeah.
connect to your power animals and how they can guide you so that we are never alone. Actually, no, none of us is never alone. The thing is that we are born with very high consciousness, but the system and the different organizations shows us that we always have to depend on someone else, that we have to believe what someone else says. And I said, do I have to believe if I can feel that? And
Yes.
that's the thing. I discovered how I can connect to my own feelings and how I can connect to my guides through the right breathing pattern. And when that happened, I say, finally, I found it. And that's how I started my spiritual path here.
Mm.
And I'm very happy to say that this is available for everyone, regardless of your religion, regardless of your spiritual path. This is very easy, very simple, and very easy if you do the right thing.
Okay, but I want to stop you here. So, for those of you who are watching, who are sitting there saying what I'm about to say, but Fernando, yes, it is simple, but it is not easy because what I know for sure is that in order to do this work, it means undoing a lot of beliefs that we come to. So I want to slow it down a little bit because I want to imagine that somebody doesn't know what a power animal is. Somebody doesn't really know how to connect with their feelings. So where could they begin?
It's very simple. There are anyone who wants to start their journey on a spiritual path.
Mm-hmm.
They have to follow any spiritual path that is supported by a true teacher, someone uh, who does what they say, simple as it sounds,
Mm-hmm.
because the current leaders nowadays, they're not congruent. But someone who is congruent could be a very good spiritual teacher. And also, the right spiritual teacher should be supported by an ancient lineage. I mean, the right being supporting all of that, because that provides the strength and the power to support anyone who is doing this practice. And any serious spiritual path starts with a discipline, with the right discipline. So I've been doing, for instance, a 5-step morning ritual. It's been 13 years, 12 or 13 years since I've been doing this morning ritual at fast. When I wake up, I just do the physical exercise, take a cold shower, write the goals of the day, visualize them already being performed, and finally, meditation. We can do a very tiny version of this, which takes only 20 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
people say, oh, it's too much. Well, it all requires some kind of inner work. But
Yes.
those people who want to do some kind of shift, it takes the right efforts. It takes the right methodologies.
Mm-hmm.
And once we start to do the right morning ritual, I've been following this path, but any spiritual path that is already that has a spiritual teacher, that has a tribe, that has teachings, and that has the right lineage supporting that spiritual path is absolutely fine. And there are not many spiritual paths that have all these conditions, but there are some of them already available.
Mm-hmm.
If we start to take the right decisions by taking care of ourselves, taking care of our body, our emotions, our mind, our spirits, little by little, we are going to first to boost. We are going to feel the energy levels already being increasing until one day we feel like there's something else we
Yes.
learn. We can feel some messages, some insights. We can hear some messages, some subtle messages saying, do that, or close that deal, or things like that, or something that in our body that says, go in that direction and take certain decisions. That's how we accomplish what is called that quantum leap. And
Mm-hmm.
if we continue to do the right discipline, the energy levels will boost over and over until we get another quantum leap, and so on and so forth. This is something similar to what happens to an atom. The atom has a nucleus and the electrons around.
Mm-hmm.
When the electrons receive the right amount of energy from the outside, they get to level one or to certain level up to the next possible level. There is no in between. For instance, they go from level one to quantum level two, and then to quantum level 3, and so on and so forth. There is no level 1.5, for instance. Something similar happens to us. We
Mm-hmm.
get different quantum leaps, and this is possible for anyone. But of course, it needs a lot of humility, a lot of uh, being honest, self-honesty. That's what it needs. And many people say, comes to me and say, "Oh, I want to have power with this for this. I want to have power for that."
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't work. And if you are doing something expecting something else in the spiritual realm, it doesn't work that way. If you surrender to the process, I do this because this is the right way, and I will allow the right outcome come to me as it has to be, then that's the easiest and the most efficient way it works.
Yes. So tell me, you also mentioned the breath, and I would love for you to share with people how the breath is connected with our spirit and how we can calm the nervous system. Because for me, until the nervous system is really calmed down, it makes it very difficult to hear anything, right? So, how can we simply use the breath? Let's say you haven't found your tribe yet. how can people use the breath to begin to calm their nervous system down and to be able to begin to connect with their power animals or their guides?
Well, the breath is the first thing we do when we come
Mhm,
here,
mhm.
because when we are born, we do like,
Oh,
so
good
breath is
point.
life. And it's the last thing we do in our life here. So when the time comes for us to leave our body here, we do like,
Mm,
and
mm,
then it's time to leave our body here. So breath is life.
mm,
And for those who want to say, and it happened to me at the beginning, for those who are following different kind of meditation and they say, oh, my mind is chattering all the time. My mind is already speaking too much, talking and talking and talking. And I say, and I learned by myself that if we don't breathe slowly and deeply, for instance, inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds, then everything is way more difficult.
yes.
However,
Yes.
if we breathe slowly and deeply, the story is very different.
Mm,
It's very, 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 very different because the breath is more than just a mechanical a mechanism. It's the way if we start to breathe slowly and deeply, it represents also through the vagus nerve there is an information that comes from the heart to the brain, and when we breathe slowly and deeply, our hearts tells the brain that we are in a safe space. There is 80% of information coming from the heart to the brain and 20% on the other way around.
mm,
So by controlling the breath, and also if we cultivate intentionally gratitude, love, compassion, grace, joy, happiness, any of these regenerative feelings, the impact is even stronger.
mm,
And if we finally include the right sounds, rhythmical reference, mantras, sound codes, or light language, the effect is even more powerful.
mm, mm,
And I'm training currently, for instance, a person who is here in Brazil, and he has been terribly affected by depression,
mm,
terribly, terribly, and he even thought about taking some decisions against his own life. And I told him, okay, let's do the following. And we did the right vagal stimulation exercises, including mantras. There is a very simple exercise for this. And we also did the right heart rate variability biofeedback training. And he reported me recently that he has reported me that these exercises have been life changing for him. And after a session, he told me, my mind stopped chattering.
oh,
I
yay.
don't know
Yay.
how you did this, but my mind stopped chattering. Thank you, Fernando. And I say, oh, you're most welcome. So
Oh,
there's a recent post where I share more details about this simple exercise and these techniques that, according to the World Health Organization, the indexes of anxiety, stress, and depression are going to increase dramatically in the next few years.
mm,
And in 20 years from now, according to studies, 20% of the population is going to be seriously affected by depression. So it is of utmost importance. It's
mm,
not just something wonderful, cool, or you're just like thinking in the sunflower. No, no. This is really serious.
yeah.
If we don't take care of ourselves, we're going to be on a reactive mode all the time. For instance, with this device, many people are already delegating their actions. And I ask many people, "What do you do with your when you just wake up?" And most of them tell me, "I just review my phone." And I ask them, when did you take care of yourself? When do you take care of your physical body? When do you take care of your emotions? When do you take care of your mind, of your mental health? How do you take care of that? And most people say, I don't know, I do nothing with this. And this is what we are working here with these clients I told you about, and with all my clients. And you already saw, Ellen, that when we take care of ourselves, life changes dramatically. And we don't need an absolute shift for an absolute change of way of life. We just need to take simple decisions. The first 30 minutes in the day and the last 30 minutes in the day. Simple as it sounds. Start dedicating to our own self-care and finish our day by just taking care of ourselves. Simple.
It sounds so simple, but I know, I mean, having been on this journey for almost 40 years, which is shocking, but I know how hard it is to break up old patterns, to just reach for the phone or to just, you know, take to really, especially in America, Fernando, I think the message has been so strong about it's out there, it's out there, it's out there, and to really bring the message back that it's here. And since the gold is inside of us, we must take care of this vessel that we have been given. So I so appreciate your work. I mean, my goodness, it is rare for me to meet somebody with as much humility and talent as you have. I have met lots of healers in this journey, and I am so grateful for the work that you do and who you are. I mean, it's really incredible. So if anybody who's watching would like to reach Fernando, we will, in the show notes, we will give you all the information so you can contact Fernando and you can find out about how you can work with him. Okay, that said, I would love people to experience what we're talking about. So, do you have time to do some drumming and breathing?
Of course, let's do
Yay!
that.
Awesome. Okay, and one thing you had said, I have a gift for everyone, and I want to make sure that we give that gift. Is the gift the drumming and the breathing?
Exactly, exactly. So I use here, you mentioned ancient technologies,
Mhm.
and this is the ancient technology. This is a drum. It is not any drum. It's a drum I built, right? So when you build your own drum and with the right uh, rituals, the drum is not an instrument. It becomes an extension of you, and you become an extension of the drum. You
Mhm.
can feel its messages. And for instance, now it's telling me go soft, right? And anyone can do this, right? And I've been doing this because I've been practicing this a lot. But anyone who takes the decision to first acknowledge their faults and then acknowledge their greatness and embrace their greatness, then everything is possible. And for those who want to get to the greatness level, they just need to be honest with themselves. And
Mhm.
for those who are not honest with themselves, no matter how much work they do and no matter how badly they want that, it won't work because the right spiritual beings are going to support us as long as we are very honest on our decisions. So I invite anyone who is going to do this practice here to be honest with yourself. Okay, just be honest with yourself. If you want for the audience, you can take notes on your personal folder what you want to release,
Mhm.
whether it's anxiety, whether it's stress, depression, or something that is worrying you a little bit.
Mhm.
Take notes on what you want to release, okay? And instead of that, we are going to not only help you release, all these sensations, all these emotions or thoughts, but also we're going to replace them by the opposite. For instance, in fear by hope, for instance, or anger by gratitude, right? So let me do this, and I will do this with two recordings. Let's do this one recording here and another recording, an audio recording. For those who want to reach out to you, Ellen, and for those who are interested, you can share this recording with no problem for anyone. Okay, that I will
Perfect.
share afterwards with you.
Okay,
So
so I have a question because usually after the sound healing, I like people to just go and be with that. So, is there any instructions that you want to give them for what they should do after you do this drumming?
um, yes, the only instructions, don't do this if you're driving or if you're in another place where you need to be with your eyes open, okay? If you're in any other place where you can just sit down and close your eyes, if you want to lay down, that's also fine as well. And you can do this if you like it. You can also share with other people that you care about. And if you have a pen and a pencil on that will allow you to share your insights, it will help you put things out of your mind and put it in a sheet of paper. So if it's okay with you, Ellen, we can do this. This will be for just, I think, 5 minutes, and that's
Sure.
it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I put here original sound. I will mute you so that you can hear me okay. Remember now that this practice is going to be with the right auditory vagal stimulation, and we're going to do this practice. First, breath in, take a deep breath, release. Once more, take a deep breath, release. And now start breathing, inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. That's it. Keep breathing slowly and deeply. And with these sounds, with these drums, and with these mantras, your vagus nerve connected to the middle ear will inform your brain that you are in a safe space, and nothing and nobody will stop you from this wonderful, peaceful sensation. can acknowledge those unwanted sensations you have been feeling in your body. Maybe a little bit of stress or anxiety or sadness or anger. Just pay attention to those emotions or those thoughts that have been affecting you. Remember, you are not defined by them. Identify now if there's any price you paid because of these unwanted thoughts or emotions. Saina, hunana sina, hunana saina, hunasina shanaina. Hanaina sunashina sanaina, hunana sina sana sana sunashina sana. Hanaina sunashina sananai, hanana sunashina sanana sunashina. And now identify which lessons you learned from these unwanted sensations or emotions. Pay attention to those lessons that come to you. And then you can place your hand on your chest and say from your heart, thank you for the lessons that I learned. Now I don't need your presence anymore, and you will leave my body and will never come back to me. And you can visualize those unwanted sensations, thoughts or emotions abandoning your body in black bubbles. At the count of 3, your body will be completely cleansed, so that you are already cleaned from those unwanted thoughts, sensations, or emotions. Count of 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath. Belleza veo Belleza veo en todos lados en ti, belleza veo alrededor de ti, belleza veo arriba abajo de ti, belleza veo los costados de ti, belleza veo por siempre en ti, belleza veo alrededor de ti, belleza veo en todos lados en ti, belleza veo por siempre en ti. And feel the transmutation taking place and your body being filled with love, joy, gratitude, happiness, excitement. Feeling that refreshing sensation now. And with the blessings of the four elements earth, water, air, fire, and the fifth element void, you can take a deep breath and slowly you can open your eyes. I mute you.
Oh, this was so amazing. Oh my goodness, I didn't know I was going to get a beautiful healing today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This was just gorgeous, just beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. Thank you
Oh,
for this wonderful space.
yes. Oh, it was gorgeous. It was just beautiful and so perfect for what I've been going through the last couple of days. And I really feel like seriously cleansed. Like that was so beautiful with the black bottles going away. I saw them going out on a river away. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Wonderful, Ellen. So it's very good that you mentioned the element water because last Sunday I had offered a session for a client and she was already on the beach and I invited her to step into the sea to until covering her ankles and we did something similar to this. And when you do this kind of practice, and anyone can do this practice again with the recording available, anyone can do this practice here with your feet already on the element water, on the sea, on the beach, on the lake, or even a river, a small river,
Mm.
doesn't matter. So you can go to any place in nature, and when you go to the element water, it's ideal to work with emotions because the element water represents our emotions, right? The relationships we build with ourselves and others around us, and also represents the external element water. So when we do the right emotional work with the element water, with the sea or the lake or the river, whatever, the effect is much more powerful. So thank you for this space.
Wow, I can't even imagine. I mean, this felt so powerful for me. So I can't even imagine. I will go to the water and do this again. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. Ah, thank you so much for coming and sharing your gorgeous gifts. I so appreciate it.
Thank you, Ellen. And I just wanted to share with anyone here that this kind of exercise, although I've been doing this, anyone can learn how to do this,
Mm,
and anyone can learn how to do our unique heart rate variability biofeedback training.
Mm,
So the protocol that we built is already unique.
mm,
And we even have the support from the government, so from the local government here from Brazil, to standardize this kind of practice because it is very unique. It is not available anywhere else in the world, and it has been extremely powerful because of the auditory vagal stimulation. So
mm.
anyone can receive this training, but also anyone can learn and offer this training for anyone. So that's what I wanted to say, if that's fine.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, this work is amazing. But I'm curious, Fernando, I have one question. Because since the vagus nerve goes into the ear, do you think people who have hearing issues, especially if it's from emotional issues, it would help?
Well, it depends. In any way, it will work because even if some people have some kind of hearing issues,
Hmm.
they will feel the vibrations. The drum, it depends on the kind of the problem they have in the middle ear, right? On the ear. If it's a problem in the inner ear, I mean the cochlea, uh, that's something a little bit difficult, but even in that case, the vibration of the sounds reach the tympanos, but also reaches the middle ear, which consists of three little bones. They have muscles attached to those bones, and the vagus nerve is connected to those muscles in the bones in the middle ear. So the thing is that the vibration will reach there and the vibration will get to the vagus nerve and get to the brain. So it will be a very good practice very interesting to practice this on people who have different hearing issues. And even in the case it doesn't work, it can work with vibrations. I
Yes.
mean, not only sounds, but also vibrations. For instance, when you place both of your hands on your chest, you just take a deep inhale and perform the mantra oh. It has to be with low pitch
Mm.
so that you feel the vibration here. And if you do this 5 times consecutively, that's when the vagus nerve is already, there is a vagal activation, which is mentioned, right? And this is regardless of the hearing issues the person have, because the vibration is already inside the body. It comes from the inside. And with that person, even with hearing issues, they mention the mantra Om, the vagus nerve is already activating the parasympathetic branch, which is associated with the rest and digestive process.
Thank you for that because I have somebody who has significant hearing loss and she's connected it to some trauma in her life. And so I think this is going to be a really great practice to offer her and for anyone else who's listening, not just if you have hearing issues, but if you want to calm the whole system. That sounds like it will really do that.
Yes. In private, I could share some other vagal activation if you want, Ellen, so
Okay,
that it may be helpful for this person in particular. But then we can talk about that in private, okay?
perfect. All right. Thank you all for your patience and for being here. And Fernando, thank you for bringing your gift. It's like I have been so deeply touched personally before, but also today. So thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. And remember that the recording is already available for those who ask here and write recording here in the comments, okay?
Awesome. All right, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.